I was so surprised at how you can use your favorite movies in marketing. My name is Shelly Hitz. I'm an author, coach, business strategist, and Christian entrepreneur on a mission to help you reach more people with your message. I recently spoke at writersontherock.com conference, and the keynote speakers at that conference were Alan Arnold and James Rubart. And they had a session all about branding and marketing. And they talked about how you can use your favorite movies. So they said, think about your top 3 favorite movies, write them down, and then see what kind of themes do those movies have in common? What kind of things do you see that are a common thread? Because that is going to probably tell you more about you and what really connects with you, and you can actually use that in your marketing. So it's interesting because I was actually speaking, so my husband was in this session. I said, take notes for me. So I actually have CJ with me today.
Hey guys.
And so I want you to share the 3 movies that you gave them.
When I thought about, my 3 favorite movies, I could probably have quite a few movies that would fit in these 3 spots, but the ones that I seemed to come up with that kind of stuck out were Lord of the Rings, Shawshank Redemption, and then the third one was Patch Adams. And so, as I thought about those, and I gave those 3, to these 2 guys leading the seminar, there were a few things that sort of rose to the surface in terms of themes, and so that told them a little bit about who I am and how that might affect my branding. And so, for me, Lord of the Rings, adventure, taking on a big, mission, something that just seems bigger than yourself. And then you go to Shawshank Redemption, kind of just fighting against the system at all odds. Of course, this was the prison system, but also freedom. Freedom. You think about the 2 guys that broke out of the prison, and how freedom really encompassed where they were at the end of that movie. I don't want to just ruin it. I think most people, 99% of people, have probably seen that movie. And then Patch Adams. Patch Adams with Robin Williams. Really a guy that went against the grain, did things differently, didn't want to be fit into this certain mold, this sort of the traditional medical model, and he had to do things this way, and we've always done it this way. And Pat, Robin Williams, who played Patch Adams, did things differently. He went into the hospitals and he worked with kids, and he used humor, and all 3 of these movies have sort of those themes of seeking freedom, doing things against the grain, and then just sort of that sense of adventure. And that's really who I am. And I think a lot of people are in that same mold, that really can't necessarily be fit into a box, sort of that square peg in a round hole. They can't really just be fit into that mold. And that's sort of how I've always viewed myself. I always wanted to do things a little bit differently, maybe help someone see something from a different perspective, and kind of almost have an aha, like, I didn't see it from that angle. And that's sort of who I am. So, in branding, if we relate that to branding.
Yeah, so when you're communicating, you're always communicating, whether you're on social media, you're on email, you're on a live broadcast. When you're communicating, you can use those themes in the messages that you share, the quotes that you share on social media, the things that you you share in your emails, you can have those themes of thinking outside the box, but also I think it was just a really, really good reminder for you. That's who you are. That's the type of writer you are. And even like when you're thinking about book projects, thinking about ways that you can help people see things differently and think outside the box, or that sense of adventure and freedom, and really weaving those into the marketing messages that you share every day can be powerful. You know why? Because it's you.
Yeah, you're really getting to the essence of who you are. And that's why we encourage you to think about, just do this little exercise. Think about your 3 favorite movies and what are the themes that rise up in those movies that really describe who you are as a person. There's a reason you like those movies. Those reasons are down deep within us. It's part of our DNA. It's part of our wiring. You're not going to change that. You're not going to be like, well, I like Star Wars, and well, maybe you do, but you realize down deep that Star Wars doesn't really get to the core of who you are, quite like Sleepless in Seattle might.
What are some of your favorite movies? Share them in the comments. Share with us some of your favorite movies and what are some themes? One of the things James Rupert was saying when CJ mentioned his 3, he was like, Patch Adams, that 3rd one, really changed things. Because that was the one that was kind of like, yeah, that's like thinking outside the box. That's going against what everyone else says to do. And it was the 3rd one. And he says, if you can even come up with a list of 5, you can come up with a list of your 10 favorite movies. Just start making a list of your favorite movies. And what is a common thread? What is something they all have in common?
It was cool because we all love movies, certain ones over others, but it tells a lot about a person when you think about your favorite movie and some of the characteristics there. You can relate that back to your own personality and the way that you're put together.
I have a hard time like really just thinking of exact movies, but I was thinking of some of my favorite movies. I love the sports movies that come back from behind. It's the team that they never thought would win or whatever. And so there's different movies that I just really, really like. And then I was just thinking about what is the feeling that I like? What is the feeling that comes to me? What is the theme that these movies that draws me to them? And it's overcoming against all odds. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that's a theme for me. I just posted on Facebook the other day, if you had a song as a theme for your life, what would it be? And I said one of mine would be Ain't No Mountain High Enough because, overcoming against all obstacles. Have like 2 or 3. And you need to, really say, what is the common thread? Look at like at least 3, he said. If you can get 5 or more, but what are the common themes? Another common theme for me personally in the movies that really move me, he said, movies that will bring you to tears or that just really, like, you can't stop thinking about them for a while, is a movie that talks about restoration of some sort, restoring someone to a new place, or they're able to restore something. It's a really good thing, and it's hard. Like this kind of work, this kind of marketing work, it's not something that normally just, boom, it's there and you know it, but it kind of came for you. I mean, it was like interesting. They even talked about in an earlier session that day, James Rubar and Alan Arnold were talking about like life themes and how your life theme can help you really write from your gut.
Really just being yourself. Not necessarily taking cues from others or doing what you think others want to hear, but just having that sense of just writing what is on your heart. What is it? What is your message to the world? That the message would be better off hearing because you're alive, not because everybody else thinks, that this is going to be popular, but really just taking what's yours, that you have unique to offer to the world, and being able to write from that.
Yeah.
Whether it's on depression or writing from your experience of an eating disorder or whatever it might be, what is it that makes up your story, your life history, being able to put all that together and writing from your perspective instead of always having to perhaps write from a perspective of pleasing people. So you're not necessarily a people pleaser when you're writing from your gut. You're just laying it all out there.
And it's actually what sets you apart. It's what differentiates you. Because in marketing, there's so many new books coming out every day. And there might be hundreds of other books on gratitude. I've written some books on gratitude. What is it that sets me apart? What is it that really makes people drawn to me? And so, when you're writing and when you're thinking about books, being able to really dig deep in this branding can really help you, because it's a work in progress. Like, I'm not done. I'm still working on it. And I was like thinking of things and getting ideas when they were talking about this at the conference, and they were talking about, your life theme, getting some of that from the movies, listing out your favorite movies. What are the themes? What is your life theme? And you may have different ones, so you may write in different genres. And as a nonfiction author, like for me, the restoration, being able to overcome against all odds. If you followed me for any length of time, I'm a motivator, I'm an encourager. I want to help you overcome against all odds. I am here for you, and that is part of who I am and part of what I integrate into my branding. So excited for CJ to come on. I was like, I want you to come on and share.
You bet. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much. I encourage you to do this, though. I encourage you to take some time. It doesn't have to be a long time. It can just be 10 or 15 minutes. Set a timer. Really think, what are some of your favorite movies? And if you're like me and you it's not like boom, 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 it comes to you. What are the themes? What are the things that draw you to a movie? What are the things that bring you to tears? What are the things that move you that you cannot stop thinking about that movie for a while? And write those things down. What are some themes for you? Because we all have them. We all have those, when we are just motivated from deep, deep, deep within. We all have that. And so I encourage you to do this and think about how then you can use those themes in the messaging that you give every day in your branding as an author, as an entrepreneur, as a speaker, on your online platform, and how you can integrate those themes in what you're doing. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.